Let's talk about the database encryption infrastructure. We are using SQL Server for our discussion here. Simply speaking, we use the database encryption infrastructure to protect our data stored in a database. There are three levels of this infrastructure. On top, we have the operating system level. In the middle, we have the database server level. At the bottom, we have the database level. Simply speaking, the operating system level will provide some security features which will be used by the database server level and the database level for protecting or encrypting and decrypting our data. The general flow is, when we set up the database server, we will create a service master key. This key will be used for the entire database server. If we want to encrypt data in a database, we will need to create a database master key in the database. Remember, that's the database we will do encryption to protect our data. Once we have the database master key, we can create a certificate. Then we can create a symmetric key or an asymmetric key. Lastly, the symmetric key is used for encrypting and protecting our data. Keep in mind, to protect our data, we will encrypt the data, but when the data will be consumed, the data will need to be decrypted first. There are two types of keys. We have the asymmetric key and the symmetric key. If we use the asymmetric key encryption, we have two keys. The private key is used by the database owner or the data owner for encrypting data. The public key will be used by data consumers to decrypt data. This asymmetric key encryption is also called the public key encryption. If we use the symmetric key encryption, we have just one key for both encryption and decryption. Usually, the keys are stored on the database server, but we could use the extensible key management. This module can allow us to store keys outside of the database server. This database encryption infrastructure has many components. The components are listed in this diagram. This infrastructure has a layered architecture. This layered architecture is excellent. It can really make system integration much easier. Keep in mind, these techniques, components, and technologies are widely used in industry for protecting our database data. This is the end of our discussion.